Okay guys, we got a problem here. We got a parasitic drain in the 94 Powerstroke. If I charge the batteries up full, it starts okay, but after about 3 to 4 days, it drains the batteries down. So it'd take about 3 to 4 weeks, which I didn't know. I was like, well, if you let it sit that long, maybe with the control module on it and the radio keeping memory, maybe it's just a good idea to start it more often than that. But now it's getting to where it takes less than a week to do it. So I've already checked a few things. I disconnected my alternator and it did not show any difference in the drain. I'm going to show you how I checked it with the ohm meter here in a minute. But I'm going to have to buy an alternator anyway, even though it's charging and did not seem to be causing a drain, because when I disconnected it, this terminal broke off. When I tried to take this nut off, the whole stud just spun in there. So, but the ohm meter showed no difference. I was hoping it was also the starter. This starter needed replacing anyway. It's got a broken ear, and when I seen that rusty Bendex there, I was hoping that was causing it. But when you disconnect that, it still shows the same drain. So what I did, I hooked the ohm meter to it, and I'm going to hook one up and show you here in a minute. But if I remove this fuse, which I believe is for, it goes to the instrument cluster, dome lights, courtesy lights, and some other stuff. The owner's manual actually shows you that. I'll show you that in a minute. Well, it goes from 350 milliamps to 150, which is still too much. And also, if you pull the inside fuse, which is also, I think it's this one. It's number 8. I think it's this one, which is also to the instrument cluster and dome lights and courtesy lights, and the cargo light, which comes on when you turn on your dome light or open the door, I believe. It could be several things. So after we get a new starter and alternator on it, we're going to have to troubleshoot that. So I guess the first thing I need to do is put my new starter on it. I ordered an alternator because I didn't know that was going to happen, so we'll have to wait on that. So this video probably spread out over a few days or maybe weeks. So the first thing we want to do is see if our new starter matches up to the old one. I ordered one off of Amazon. Alright, this thing is from Amazon. Ordered it from DB Electrical. Can't remember the exact price. See if there's a receipt in here. So far so good, nice and shiny. Okay, that's all looking like it's going to match. And there is the ear that is broken. I'm going to have to find me an extra bolt because I was only using 2 bolts. You can see this was the original. Yeah, even when the batteries were hot, it was turning slow, but look how dirty all that is. Probably if I'd have cleaned that would help. But this is not a good thing. Maybe we'll, I have another newer housing. Something happened that I don't want to really get into right now. But maybe I could put the inners in the new housing one day and have a rebuilt one as a standby. Looks like things matching up. Yeah, I think it's going to work. Looks nice. Let's hope it holds up. Let's get this thing in here. But I think it goes in just like this, with the solenoid off to the passenger side. Once you get one or two bolts in, it's a lot easier. That first one is always the worst. I'm going to try to get the top one in. It's up here behind the solenoid. That started. Let it hang there. It hopefully won't hit me in my head. Wouldn't want to ruin a good starter. Get that top one up there as far as I can go. I need a longer extension. Top one's kind of hard to get to, but you gotta have the right extension for it. Watch them knuckles, Mark. Sharp edge right there. Tight and tight. Now, okay, starter is installed. I didn't even know my camera fell over, but we got all the wires on it, everything. So yeah, it's in there. Okay guys, so I lost the, this is several weeks later, and I lost the rest of the footage I did on this video, so yeah, I know it, ain't it awful? So I'm trying to get caught up on editing some videos I had started and didn't get to complete, so I can move on to something else pretty darn cool. But I want to get those, I don't want that video time wasted. Won't be the best video, but I'm going to tell you how this all ended on this truck. It ended good, don't worry. So let me got the hood latch already popped. All we did, you seen me put the starter on. It needed that. I put a new alternator on because I broke this and I had to fix that. So there's a new Amazon alternator. I'll put links in the description below and probably show them in the video. And everything's working good. And I ended up getting a new battery. It turned out I was misreading my own meter and I did not have a parasitic drain. For some reason, the battery on this side was had gone bad prematurely. It was only 1 year old, it was another battery just like this. You've heard me in my other videos, for those of you who've watched all of my videos, and thank you for that, that I really bragged on these batteries, and all the others have been good, but the one I put in here did not last long. Now this is the side that goes to the starter. I don't know if it had something to do with that really old starter, but I know it cranks a lot better. And the way I found out, I had the batteries disconnected, and of course, since I thought I was getting a drain, and both batteries were going down, I charged them both individually, not hooked to the truck. And then before I was getting ready to put it together to try it all out, I hooked my charger to that battery. It was still up to 95% because I charged them both. And I went to this side. Of course, that was a previous battery. And it was down to 40%. And I thought, could have sworn I charged it. So I hooked the charger to it again. And it took a charge. I unhooked it. It only took a couple hours. I unhooked it. A couple hours later, it was back down to 40%. So I said, wow, that battery's bad. So I had to buy a new battery. And something else I went ahead and did, these trucks had a recall back in the day. And I'm sure you've heard of these trucks catching on fire. It's the switch on the master cylinder. It's for the cruise control. And found some videos on it, and I thought, I never did bring this in for the recall. I'm one of the lucky ones that never caught on fire, but I still had that original switch. And a guy I work with told me a couple years ago he knew a guy that had one of these, and it was only a couple years ago, so the truck was old, and all its life it never had trouble, and it burned his garage down. It went that long without having that problem, and boom, it did it. So I decided while I was giving this truck some attention that it needed, I'd go ahead and do that. This is an Amazon kit. It gives you, it's a different switch. It gives you a little harness with it. I'll find all that and put a picture of it up on at the end of this video, just like everything else. Everything I bought, I'm going to do that. And this harness also replaces, if the truck did go in for a recall, what they did was they didn't replace the switch that was causing the problem. Typical Ford, they don't fix the problem. They just go around it. But they had a harness that went in, that plugged into the original switch and plugged into this end of it, and it had a fusible link so that if it shorted, it would blow the fuse. And what would happen, they said the brake fluid, or these switches would short out and the brake fluid would catch on fire. So I'm going to fire this thing up and I'm going to show you. Okay, my camera battery died. We're back. Now let's try to start it. Oh yeah. Yeah, that thing starts good now. But yeah, it's fires up so much better. These diesels need to crank fast. Like this old truck. Glad I did all the work to it, man. I tell you what, it paid off. .073 sounds pretty darn good for stock. Okay, guys. Alright, just trying to crank some videos out. I've had a lot going on, and like I said, I lost the footage and figured I'd put this one together. I got another one that was incomplete I'll have to put together like this too. And once I get those two other videos done, we got something a little different waiting for you guys. Thanks for watching.